Captain's Log, August 22nd, 2025. Hello, I'm Captain Vile. Good and you. We've made it to Friday.
How was my week? Not that bad.
Not that much happened, truth be told. Rather routine, I'd say. I did watch 2 movies. I think I mentioned this on another show. But like the weekly, I watch a movie a week, or my father and I pick a movie a week, and then discuss the movie on a weekly call on Sunday. We had missed it last week. His pick was The Holy Mountain, and my pick this week was Dog Day Afternoon. So I watched both of those, and we'll talk about both of those this Sunday. And I'm now realizing, like, since I know he does watch these, and like I talk about my opinions on the movies on these, he gets like a little prelude to my thoughts on the movies. Find that interesting. Oh well, no complaints. I mean, he's gonna hear about it regardless. It's just it's a sneak peek, I guess. It's not like a debate. I don't feel as though that's cheating. We just talk about them. I will say his pick last week, The Holy Mountain. I'll talk about them in the order. Did not like this movie. I was warned about it. So, a while back, I've got my letterbox pulled up. You can see, not Dogs in Space. It was, it's far away. I'd have to go to another page. It's not that hard. I got some few pages set up because I do have some talking points that I need. Here, A Z and Two Knots, June 22nd. Watch the Z and Two Knots while eating a rice dish. Wouldn't recommend doing so. A lot of maggots in that movie. A lot of focus on decomposition. Not decomposition, decomposing. If I used the wrong word. Whatever. Not a movie to eat while eating. Holy Mountain, also not a movie to eat while eating. And I think that this is a movie. I'll ask him during our call. But I remember some years ago, I don't recall the topic of conversation, how we got there, but we were mentioning, I think we were talking about, like, gross movies. And I've seen some out there movies, some ones that you certainly don't want to eat while watching. I think it was we were talking about The Audition, because I had seen The Audition, and that is not a movie you want to watch while eating anything. That's not a movie you want to watch while having after eating anything. Because I watched The Audition and I threw up. That was an unpleasant viewing experience. But it's a gross movie. But I think while talking about gross movies, this might be a show you might want to not listen to while watching or while eating. Apologies. Thinking about it. But I don't think this is this movie, because that's not what happened, but he had said that there was a movie he had watched where the main character found a way to... They were an alchemist, which the character in The Holy Mountain is an alchemist, and that's why I'm so hung up, because it's very similar to what he described, but not exactly, so he might have just misremembered it, and I might have misremembered what he said. But the point is, the character had found a way to transform... It was either they found a way to turn excrement into gold. However, I don't recall... Like, he said that they, like, showed the character excreting into a bucket. Which happens in The Holy Mountain, by the way. Charming movie. But I was wondering if that's... I'll ask him. As I said earlier, I keep repeating myself, but I wonder if this is the movie he spoke about a while ago. But anyway, here is my Letterboxd review of it. 1 star. I was told this is a film best not watched whilst eating. After seeing it, I would say it is a film best not watched at all. The shots, sets, and practical effects are amazing. I found the portrayal of Desire interesting, but that's all the praise I think it deserves. I hated watching this movie. I hate that all of these great shots and props are in this movie, and not another one. And above all, I hate this movie. Did not enjoy. Upon, reflection, perhaps those last few lines are a bit harsh, but I did not enjoy this movie at all. It's an impressive movie. It is, above all, it's very impressive. It's very well made. It's just what they made I do not like in any way. Did not put its best foot forward. I don't believe it intended to either. But the opening scene... No, I guess after the opening scene, where we meet the main character who is kind of somewhat meant to represent Jesus in a way. Oh well. After the 2 women get their heads shaved and cuts him on the ground. But I did enjoy it. Other movie, which I'm more favorable to, is Dog Day Afternoons, my pick, which does not involve excrement in any way. So I ate it while having dinner. I think I watched it 20 minutes ago, truth be told. No, an hour ago. I finished it, yeah. Finished it recently. 3 stars. A fun movie. Very tense. No shots stand out, but it's incredibly well acted. Not a lot to say on that one. It's a good movie. I had seen snippets of it before during class because we were handed the script of the movie and shown... We were handed the first few pages of the script and we were shown the opening to the movie to see how it differs. And it did. It originally opened with, memory serves, it opens with several shots of the city. However, it has a timer in the script. It keeps cutting to a digital alarm clock and has several radios going on. It's narrating a ball game that counts down until a certain point, and then the bank robbery comes. Instead of just the montage of just the town. And then the bank robbery comes, like in the movie. But I enjoyed it. Definitely abrupt ending, but I suppose that it was meant to have one. I really just don't have that much to say about it. It's a good movie, but there's just... I don't have very much to comment on. Oh well, now my talking points. Not, like I said, not too much happens during my week, but I did, I suppose I have some talking points now. I'll get into this in I have the TV show talking point in a bit, and I have a talking show. So, I do a lot of animating, and when you do that, it's nice to have something to listen to. My go-to is YouTube video essays, and a predominant YouTube, I wouldn't consider it video essay, but certainly long-form content that you can listen to. That being Windagoon. That is, he covers, conspiracy theories, and various, crimes. I don't know if I would consider it to be, true crime, but it's certainly very close to that. However, he has a second channel, because he's very, But since he does kind of, true crime, he covers, stories where people die. And, news events and, hostage situations. And they're interesting, watches and listens to. They're very well researched and well edited. But the fact he's got a second channel, because I have a second channel pulled up, Windagang. And there was a video I wanted to watch a while ago. I just saw it on my recommended page. The horrific spree and cover-up of Dr. Death. Which, if memory serves, that was near where I lived for a while, correct? I think I don't think my animation teacher... She was paralyzed by an intern. This is a unrelated story, but she was paralyzed for a while. Not by the time I met her when she was teaching. She was fine then, but she had mentioned that she was paralyzed by like an intern who didn't know what they were doing. And she got better gradually. But Dr. Death, I'm pretty sure, was a fake chiropractor who was just killing people under the guise of being a doctor. So that's why the Herfix Spring cover-up. But this is on his second channel. So, like... Ooh, very interesting story, but not front-page material kind of thing. Like, it's not on the main channel. And there is kind of like a... like, there's kind of like an ethical gray area to like this, making this and watching it. Because, I don't know, it's less professional than the news, and I don't know, I mean, hey, they're just reporting on a story. They didn't cause anything. But it does feel a little weird. It feels... I view it as... This seems like an interesting topic to like listen to, and it's something to listen to while I animate, so I don't go insane sitting in silence for 6 hours. But I feel that there could be an audience that sees as... There is like a voyeuristic audience that is watching these out of morbid curiosity, rather than like, it's something, it's nice to listen to. And I suppose my "it's nice to listen to" is a little like dismissive of like all the editing that goes into these. I haven't watched any of the second channel videos, but the main channel videos, he does have like images up, but it's typically like webcam footage of him. There's a lot of effort in the thumbnails, but not like the him. I haven't watched the main channel in a while, truth be told. Hang on. What was the last main channel upload I watched? Let's see. Killer Who Lived in the Walls, 5 months ago. Oh, no. Airplane Crash Conspiracy, 3 months ago. So, not watched in a bit, but... But I feel, I don't know, it just feels a little iffy. Like, making a second channel for that. As well as, like, watching it. But I am interested in the story. I may watch it, despite all my huffing and puffing. The other TV show. So, I said my go-to was YouTube, but sometimes you just can't find a good video. Like, sometimes there's too many, like... There's too many visual aids they utilize that you cannot absorb what they're talking about without looking at the screen. And I don't want to, like, listen to an audiobook, because then... like, I have to intently listen, and I can't focus on animating, because I'm paying attention to the story. So this is not what I'm talking about, this is separate. But I've moved away from audiobooks and moving towards to, like, opting into getting the book instead of the audiobook of a story. So, I just dropped my phone with my foot. While, I don't know, moving my leg absentmindedly, I caught the charger of my phone on my desk and it fell. Just caught it. Oh well. I'm not listening to audiobooks, I'm reading, and I'm not watching YouTube videos, I'm watching TV shows. I've gotten back into television. Last show I watched, both in terms of having come out recently and just the last actual television show I watched, was Severance, Season 2. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Before that, I believe it was Suits, and then haven't seen anything since. I have just started True Detective, which I am enjoying. I've seen the first episode. Nice hook to it. I cannot quite comment my thoughts on it just yet, as I'm I can't say that you have a lovely home when I'm standing in the foyer. Alright? I gotta get to, like, the dining room and whatnot before I can give that out and be correct in my assessment. But, I enjoy the kind of... It's a retelling of the story. So it's from the characters several years later after the fact. So you see how they are then and how they are now. So you know that they're not going to die, I suppose. But there is clearly something going on. Like, it's about a murder, from what I've gathered. Or a series of murders. And that seems to have affected... Flashbacks take place in the 70s. Retelling of the crime takes place in 2012? And it came out in 2014. So I'm always looking at, like, old stuff. I know that. I don't know. I guess I hate waiting for, like, shows and movies and books. I got into my favorite book series, Arc of a Scythe. God, when was that? Before the second one, Thunderhead, came out, and I believe I got that as a birthday gift. And then a year and a half later, the third one came out. But I had gotten into it in, like, high school. But I always get into, like, older shows and game series and, like, movies or movie series after the dust is settled, after everything is gone. And, like, can just, like, I don't know. It's all open. I don't have to wait for a damn thing. I can go about it at my own pace. And I often do. I'm just waiting. Because I've now, like, I'm reading comics. And I don't mean, like, Batman. I mean, like, standalone original comics. There's this series called Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, about a serial killer, except it's like they're cuddly animals. It's got a cute art style, but grisly subject matter. And it's got a sequel that's come out. And the second... So it's got a sequel, it's 6 issues. The original story is 6 issues, and I read that in one sitting in about an hour. 2 years after everything had come out. I am now getting into the sequel, which is coming out as we speak. The first issue is out. The second issue comes out the 27th, I do believe? Or the 29th. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know it's late August. So it's bi-monthly, I believe. Which, is tedious. Because it's very, very good. It's very well drawn, very well written. The only flaw is I don't have it now. Very impatient when it comes to things like that. But oh well. I might look into some other, like, not DC comics. Not superhero comics. Speaking of those, I remember there was something like Histories. What was it? It was like books. In middle to high school, I had found this comic series that was just comic book adaptations of novels. It was The Time Machine, 2000 Leagues Under the Sea, Dr. Jekyll and The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I never read that one. I really wanted to. As well as... No, I did read that one. I wanted to get the Dracula one. Didn't get to, though. I got the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde one, which was interesting. Then 2000 Leagues Under the Sea and the Time Travel. Didn't enjoy the Time Travel one. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was pretty cool. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was fine. Never got to read the Dracula one. I read all of them but the Dracula one. They were pretty cool. Those are the other only comics. I guess Calvin and Hobbes. Those are pretty good. I still have those. I have so many Calvin and Hobbes books. Where are those in my... I got them in my room somewhere. Right there? Over my closet? No, this is amazing commentary for an audio show. The host is looking around his bedroom looking for comics he read as a kid. You know, Calvin Hobbes. I have so many of those. I always enjoy those. Those got me into drawing. Quite enjoy those. They're not in great condition. Some of the covers are missing. They're very well read, I'll say. I've read them over and over and over and over again as a kid, looking at phase expressions and stories. I always loved those books. Oh well. Bit of a rambling show. I've been told some people... That was a bit loud. Crikey. That, like, voice crack. Not really a voice crack. I've been told that some people enjoy the more rambling shows, where I just, like, meander through points such as this. I don't really like them, though. I don't like recording them. Or I prefer to have a structured show, in which I talk about something and, like, rehearse it a little. I mean, I rehearse, like, talking points. But this show, where it's just off the top of my head, I suppose it's easier to do. I don't know, I don't like having these, like, moments where it's, like, I would consider it unprofessional, as I said earlier, looking around my room for comics. I don't know. I'm not very professional, but I enjoy having the guise of professionality about me. Alright? Is that so much to ask? Nothing I do is serious, but I would like to be taken serious. Oh well. I believe I'm all out of topics. I could talk about my neighbors. There've been some new developments there. So you guys, I used to think my neighbor was a squatter. I found out they're not. Yeah, no, they were just moving. Really weird about it, though. Oh well, I got some new neighbors. Those are the developments. I don't know. I've kind of, like, ruined the meat of the story. Being like, I thought they were squatters, turns out they were just moving out, and now some new people have moved in. Well, I don't know if they've moved in. I think I kind of drove them off by accident. Because, you know what, I got some time. So, meeting the potential buyers of the house next door, the realtor was, like, showing them around, and I was just walking home. But the thing about, like, my walk from the street to the front door, it's very long, and the bushes are overgrown. So there's, like, lavender and, like, weeds, which the landlord is meant to get to, but does not. So that's annoying. But anyway, I have to crouch and almost crawl under lavender bushes to get through. And the neighbors just kind of looked at me as I was doing this, just kind of like, oh, hi. Like, they did, like, oh, hello. And I looked up at them from, like, my, like, hunched over position and was like, oh, hi. And then went back to, like, trudging towards the door and just went in. So I think that kind of soured their first impression of their new home, and they went with another one. So it's really funny that I might have cost that realtor a sale. Don't blame me, blame the lavender. It's overgrown. I don't know how my roommates... I've never heard them complain about it. Except, like, one-off comment in the group chat being like, isn't the landlord meant to cut the bush? It's getting really close to the door. Which it is. Getting less and... The time spent crawling is getting longer and longer. It's annoying, but oh well. They don't have... I'd like to raise that they don't have a bush. Only we have a bush on our, like, walk over. And there's this, like, knee-high cobblestone fence that separates the two trails. Like, yeah, I don't really want to live to... I don't really want to live next to that guy. Let's go to a different place. Oh well. Now I am out of topics. Enough of my rambling show. See if I have any see if anything happens next week, because mainly just talking points. When was the last time I had like a "so this happened to me" show? I think the Dream, where I explained the pirate ship and whatnot. Oh well, school's starting soon. I'm sure to have something there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Stay tuned to Gotham